appears that not all is what it seems in the happy world of Harry and Meghan, and this all stems back to an argument seemingly now over a year ago. But what are we talking about? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. As ever, lovely to see a blistering hot day again, by the way, today here in London town. I don't know what it's like wherever you are in the world. Someone asked me, actually, by the way, don't know if you're the same, he said, oh, if you could pick any ice cream, what would you have in the heat? And I thought about it, and I like a lot of them, as you can see, and that's the problem. But cornettos have shrunk, haven't they? They've gone right down in size now. But I used to like the old traditional ones. Do you remember the sort of block of ice? I think it was called just simply a wafer, and it was like 2 slices of cornetto and a huge slab of vanilla ice cream. I loved those, and for an extra treat they would put a bit of raspberry sort of ripple stuff on it. Do you remember them? Is it just me? Never see them now. Probably wouldn't think it was value for money, would they? Give it all that ice cream away. Anyway, back as ever to your breaking ball story of the day. This is really emerging now because all thanks to that revelationary book by the author Tom Bower, people are really looking into situations, and as I say, it's very difficult if you're Meghan Markle and Prince Harry because the negatives just keep coming, thick and fast. And this particular story all really stems from the fact, all based on those alleged tissue of lies that came out of the Oprah Winfrey interview. In particular, this one, if you recall, when Harry and Meghan decided to sit down with Oprah, we didn't know that all the questions had been agreed in advance. What we could tell, though, is when you think about it, Meghan allegedly was very tearful at one point, but never actually managed to smear that very thick Princess Diana-like eyeliner. Do you remember that? But also, what was a real test, and when you look back at this interview now, is simply this. There was an instant where now it's sort of become infamous really about Meghan and Harry claiming that in fact their wedding, that big spectacular that we all enjoyed around the world, was simply a spectacle in Meghan Markle's eyes, a spectacle. That's what she called it. A joyous day for family, for friends, for the world in fact, to welcome in a brand new member of the British monarchy. But where did it go wrong? Well, of course, on that interview, Meghan, remember, that in fact they'd already been married 3 days before, and she was vibrant, lots of sparkling eyes, looking towards Oprah Winfrey, who seemingly did seem rather shocked, not quite sure if this was part of the script. What people haven't noticed is, and now been reevaluated, is that when she says this, you just see Harry looking down, playing with the chickens, very embarrassed, not looking in her direction at all. Now what's emerged is, and this is not what in the Tom Bower book, but is interesting because good sources have pointed out that this was a major sticking point within Harry and Meghan. They had a very big, possibly one of their very big first fallouts regarding this. Because of course he would have known that wasn't the case. They were simply not married. It may have been a rehearsal, a blessing or something, but it certainly wasn't a wedding, whatever she wanted to cite. Now, as we've told you before here on the show, neither one has actually come forward to apologise for these itineraries of, lies basically that seemingly, and as ever we have to say allegedly, went on, all sorts of stuff. But more importantly, I think for Harry and Meghan now, they are really evolving and creating a very difficult move forward in their development of brand, as we've said before. But it's interesting, isn't it? Because if Prince Harry did push back on that particular story with Meghan, then seemingly he did have some sort of spine then. But now, possibly, in this particular era, seemingly, he wants to go along with whatever mantra they are putting out. And I think for Meghan Markle moving forward, this is a very difficult time because, when you are proven not to have the right facts at your fingertips, but you want to go on international television and say these things, then you have to expect some kind of backlash. Whether that will bother Miss Markle or not remains to be seen. But clearly, it did resonate with the former royal known as Prince Harry, even for just a nanosecond. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.